So we're giving this little stone house probably the biggest facelift it's ever going to receive in its whole life. And this week we are tackling a huge job which is going to completely transform the look of this building. So when we bought this farm, this little cabin was smothered in a really strong, rough concrete mortar mix. It was all over the faces of the stone and it just looked dirty. It made the building look not very presentable. So we undertook the task of removing it all, both inside and out. Felt like it was never ending at times, but we got there in the end. So the plan has always been to replace all of that we took out with a traditional lime mortar mix, like you can see behind me. And so far, it's kind of been a bit of a slow process. We've been doing it here and there around other jobs. But this week we have cancelled all other plans. We've got about 5 days and we are going to throw everything at this in one big push to get all of this pointing done. Whether we can actually get it done in that time is yet to be seen, but we're going to try our best.
If we're going to stand a chance of getting this done, we've got a real need for speed, and we're going to have to use everything, every little tip that we've picked up to date to actually accomplish this. So with that in mind, Ricky has been jet washing the building to flush out the joints to make sure that they're clean. Meanwhile, I'm chipping away at the joints because some of these stones are so close together. There's no way to actually get mortar in between them. And even if you did, you'd be getting the tiniest little bit, and give it a year or two and that mortar's just going to fail and wash out. So that's not what we need. We want it to go as deep into those joints and bond as well as it possibly can.
So I'm just removing some of the earth on this gable end where it comes to the building, because this side is kind of underground. We've got a mound to the right hand side of the tiny house, and we want to get the pointing as far as we can below ground level to stop any water ingress. We do quite like the look of this mound. We feel it kind of beds the house in much nicer into the surroundings rather than just plonked in the middle of a field. When we finally get a digger on site, the plan is to kind of level this off a bit, so reduce the height of this mound a little bit and then slope it so it's all pushing away from the house. Hopefully that's going to help get that water away.
Blimey, this escalated a little bit. I left you alone for an hour and this is what I've come back to.
Oh yeah, found some treasures while I was digging. Cook you up some lunch.
Oh, it's massive. How was that hidden?
Literally right there. Found a load more shoe soles.
Lovely. Why are there so many shoes in this place?
No idea.
So I've had a count of how many of the bags we've got for the pointing, and we've got 11. So we're going to need some more.
Okay, if I shift all this soil so it's out the way, and then maybe I'll head out and buy some more.
Get onto it nice and early tomorrow.
Okay, oh, that wind. My nips are popping through. Let's get digging again.
always takes a little bit of time to find your flow and get into the rhythm of it when you pick up pointing again. But we've whipped through that first mix, so I'm taking this as a good sign.
Yeah, we're being way less precious, well, I am anyway, about how this is going in, because when we've done it in the past, you need to be really careful not to overwork it, because it's very easily done. You kind of want to make it look right. But the reality is, it all comes together in the next stage when you're kind of scraping all the excess off and you're brushing everything out to, you know, get the edges really tucked in and bring all the aggregate out. So yeah, right now I'm just going to try and shovel it in. I'm up and on it early this morning, doing a bit of pre-breakfast, finishing off of the work that we did yesterday, because we were both a little bit nervous last night that maybe this pointing would be a bit too hard to finish it off, because some of the stuff we started has been on there now for nearly 22 hours. So it can really reach a tipping point and you can't finish it off and get it looking nice and smooth. And it's a crucial stage, this part, because this is where it goes from like this, like how we pointed it yesterday, just get it all in, leave it looking rough, to like this, smooth, finished, recessed, nice and flat, no gaps anywhere, it's nicely worked in around the stone. But yeah, I'm grateful this morning that it appears leaving it all that time was absolutely fine. There's a few areas where it's a little bit tough, but for the most part, I'm sailing through. So I'm gonna get this finished up, then go and have some breakfast.
Ricky's just having his breakfast and getting some energy in the tank ready for today. So I've got a few minutes spare, so I'm going to do a little job in the garden. This is our little loquat tree and it's looking so unhealthy. All of the leaves are getting these brown spots on them, and I looked it up and it's some kind of fungus. Lovely. I've got this spray, it's organic, it's not got any chemicals in it, but it says it can get rid of the fungus and it will help the plant protect itself from future attacks, so it's got to be worth a shot. That's well and truly drenched, so let's hope this can work its magic. You can do it every week, so I'll just keep it up and hopefully it's going to start to look a little bit happier than it does right now.
Frustratingly, the hose on our big, like 20 litre, 25 litre water sprayer snapped yesterday, just as we were about to start the day. And now we're having to use this piddly little thing, which is slowing us right down.
If you just want to go make a drink or maybe a 3-course dinner, I should be done soon. It is looking good though.
Agreed.
I'm getting so wet. No. No.
I know. It's not fun. Lovely. 7. 6. Last off.
Oh, it's the creepy whispering I can't handle.
So this week's video is sponsored by Reolink. For any of you that have been watching a while, you'll know that they are a big supporter of our channel because basically we love their product, and from the feedback we've received, so do you guys. So we have lots of their cameras around the farm, keeping the place safe. We love their products because they're super quick to set up, they're really easy to use, and they're super reliable. And Victoria is just setting up our latest addition to the system.
So this little snazzy number is the home hub, and it allows you to manage all of your cameras in one place. It stores all of your cameras recordings inside of here, and it can manage to hold up to 1 terabyte of footage, which is just
a lot.
It's absolutely massive. And if you were paying like a cloud service, you'd obviously have an ongoing subscription for that, but you don't have to have any subscription.
So all of our Reolink cameras already have a pretty impressive battery life, but when you use them with the home hub, it extends that battery life even longer. So that's obviously adding another level of reliability and peace of mind that they're not going to die on you when you need them the most.
So currently our cameras are all set up on the Reolink app. I've got this now paired with our internet, technical word. It was incredibly easy to do.
For you to say that's easy is saying a lot, because Victoria is a bit of a technophobe. Is that the right word?
Tread carefully, young man, tread carefully. But yes, so now I need to get all of our cameras and pair them with the hub.
Device added successfully.
How's a piece of cake? So we've got 4 cameras, I think it is.
Correct.
Okay, 4 set up on the home hub, but you can expand it up to 8. So we've got plenty of room for more. And today we've also got the video doorbell from them, which we're going to add.
Add in the doorbell, or any of the other cameras actually. It's literally the touch of a few buttons and it's connected and you're ready to roll and ready to capture people on camera. Right, should we give it a whirl then?
Little test drive.
No cold callers today, thank you.
Come on, let me in. So Reolink is basically a one-stop shop to get all of your security needs sorted and taken care of. Every single camera in their range has really high quality images. We absolutely love the peace of mind that we can keep our eyes on the farm even when we're not here.
So if you want to build your own personalised security system with Reolink, click our link in the description and use code LifeByLiving to receive a special discount.
Well, I think our 5-day deadline is well and truly out of the window. Yesterday, we finished up the big gable that we've been working on so far. That's all done, and I've just been cleaning it up now. Yesterday was technically day 3, but we had such a short amount of time pointing before it started raining, plus we didn't film anything either, so we've kind of both agreed that we're going to call today day 3, because hopefully we're going to get a bigger run at it than we did yesterday. Some of you might be wondering, why don't we just carry on working in the rain? Well, it's not because of a lack of willing on our part. We want to carry on and get this done. But when you're sitting out in the rain and you've got rain going into your mortar, rain wetting the wall more than you want it to, the outcome is not great. So this area here is a prime example of when we were doing the back, however long ago that was, of we tried to carry on in the rain, and you can see it's a different colour from everywhere else. It dries differently, the texture gets too wet, and because it's so much wetter with the rain coming over it, it kind of smears and leaves like a ghosting all the way around, and it just doesn't look very good compared to the other areas where it's done nicely and in the dry. We were going to carry on with the ceiling this week, but we pivoted and moved to the pointing because it was just a week where the forecast was overcast basically every day. There was no rain due, there was no direct sun due, and it was just perfect conditions for pointing in. So, you know, when you're planning to work outside on these really overcast days, there's always the risk that it's going to change and we're going to get rain, which has happened, but what can you do? It's Mother Nature. The sun is trying desperately to poke through. So I'm going to finish cleaning up from yesterday's work, getting that all finished, and hopefully we can carry on making some good progress outside.
The rain stopped, so we're going to chance it.
Just taking a quick break to enjoy how good this wall looks.
It really does look so smart, doesn't it?
It does.
And I can't see that we've missed any spots either, which is always good. It definitely feels good to have got this gable end done because it's by far the biggest of all the walls. And I don't know if you can really tell, but as the stones go up, they get smaller. So even though we were getting quicker, we didn't feel like we were really sort of picking up the pace, but it's done and it does look smart.
Yeah, who would have thought something as simple as just a bit of lime and some sand between some stones could just change the appearance so much of a building? It just feels so much, I don't know how to describe it, weightier. Maybe that's the right word, weightier. It just feels strong and heavy and solid.
It's amazing how quickly you can get through it with a combination of big stones and also the window openings.
Yeah, if only it was like this all over.
More windows.
Yeah, more doors.
One for every wall.
There's been a few times so far on this project where I wish at the time we were doing a job, we could have seen a little bit further into the future when we were making certain decisions, because sometimes we've made a choice and it's caused us a bit more work down the line. And this afternoon has been one of those. So this whole area here under the window just used to be kind of concrete and we didn't really know what the makeup of it was. When we were knocking it out, we left certain areas like this because it looked like it was stone when we were chipping it out. However, just looks a bit of a mess now, and now we're having to forge our way through to try and make space for the pointing, whereas I wish we'd just bashed it out in the first place and replaced it like we did in these areas here, and it looks all nice and swish. I guess what I'm talking about here is experience, I guess, because we certainly wouldn't do this again. If we came across something similar on a different project, we would probably just knock the lot through with a view to it's going to be easier to do that and rebuild. But yeah, you live and you learn. So that's us done for today. We're out of mortar. The sun is setting, so we'll catch you tomorrow. Everything is starting to feel a little bit like a Groundhog Day doing this job. Every day, getting up early, first thing, coming down, scraping and brushing the work from the day before. Then it's head back up, prepare the first mix of many mixes that are going to happen that day. Come back down to the tiny house, start pointing, keep pointing until that mix is done. And then it's literally make another mix, do some more pointing. Go make another mix, do some more pointing. And then normally we're working until we've got no more light, basically, and then it's go to bed, wake up the next day, do the same thing. And although it's been really repetitive work, gotta say, kind of enjoyed it. It's quite nice to just have a task that you can do without having to think too much about. Outside, breathing in the fresh air, listening to the birds chirping. And I'm pretty sure this one here has enjoyed some dazzling company and some engrossing conversations.
Silence is really underrated. No, on the weather though, this is why we moved here. You know, we want to be able to be outside as much as possible, and it's just been, most of the time anyway, it's been pretty ambient and just very, very pleasant to be outside.
I think it's more the company.
Maybe.
I think this mix is just a bit too wet, squelching around everywhere. But it does make me think. We still haven't answered, we're quite far into this week now, we still haven't answered a question that we get asked every single time we do any pointing. People saying, why aren't you using a piping bag or a grouting bag to do this? Or you should be using a piping bag, it's much quicker. Yes, it is quicker to a degree. However, we can't use it because we are using lime, and using a piping bag is only suitable for using with a cement-based mortar. If you use it with lime, you have to get that mix really wet to be able to go in the bag and kind of squelch out as you squeeze it. With a lime mix, if you get it too wet, it separates like the lime paste from the aggregate and the sand, which you don't want. You obviously want them to be mixed nicely together.
Also, I don't think it'd actually be possible to achieve the look that we're going for if you used a piping bag. The way we're doing it, the pointing is slightly recessed so that the face of the stone is clean and it has a more defined edge. Obviously, you can do it in lots of different ways. You can slightly go over the faces of it and kind of create more of a flush surface, or you could go full lime render. But this is the way we want to do it on the outside, and so far we're looking pretty spick.
Also, this style is really popular here, so whenever we drive around or we take a walk somewhere and we see buildings that we think, oh, that looks really nice, it always has this style. And yeah, we're glad we chose this. So far it's turning out really, really well. So it's the final day, and I guess the big question to answer is, are we going to get it all finished? And no, is the short answer. A little bit disappointing, however, we're both okay with it. We're really happy with the progress we've made so far, and by the end of today we'll have done the front, and that'll be the lion's share done. We'll have 3 out of the 4 sides of the buildings done, and then it will probably be, what do you reckon, another couple of days work to do the other gable?
Yeah, should be.
Plus, we're really happy with the finish that we've got with it. It's far exceeded both of our expectations.
Our expectations of how good we could get this stonework looking were low. Medium to low, because they were just so covered in that horrible concrete originally that we really sort of tempered our hopes for how good it could look. But somehow, by cleaning them up as best we can and then obviously pointing it with the lime, when you stand back, the stonework looks really, really clean and primo.
We were a bit late starting today because it was raining this morning, and now we've got the opposite end of the spectrum. All the clouds are clearing, blue skies. We're going to be battling direct sunlight for the rest of the day, so this wall is going to need lots of wetting down and lots of spraying throughout the day. But yeah, we are going to enjoy the sunshine, make the best of it, put on some tunes, have a good time, and try and smash out as much pointing as we possibly can. think that's us done for the day because it's looking like we're about to get rained off. There's big dark clouds coming. So we're just dashing around and getting everything packed up. But we've not got much left to do, just this area here. I mean, if you look at the building from a certain angle, it basically looks like it's done. Obviously, we can't look at the opposite gable. I'm not sure if it will come across in this video of the level of work we've actually done. Put in a good shift, soldier. It's been a lot.
It has been a lot, and I'm ready to go into a really nice, deep bubble bath. If only.
Yeah, I was going to say, where's that happening?
If only we had a bath.
I'll stick you in the plunge pool.